What's happening? DE Wrestler here. Second time today. I'm getting into these new video things. I got a lot of ideas I've been thinking about for a while. Cena Haters. This guy. I am not a hater, but I am not a fan. Cena is a necessity in this business. You need a top guy. No matter what. You need one. TNA, for example, doesn't have one. They try to have one. They call Sting maybe their top guy, maybe Angle, but they're just not top guys. They're not big draws. They were. They're not anymore. So right now, we're stuck with one top guy in arguably the entire business. I mean, I know we got ROH guys. Those are always great. But they're indie. And TNA can't make up their mind who their top guy is. So there's one guy, Cena. There's half guy, Punk. Quarter guy, Bryan. But right now, you have one guy. Now, the reason why Cena's character is getting so stale is because you have to keep using it over and over again. And when they went PG, they had to get away from his gangster, kind of from the hood, I'm a player kind of thing. Not player, but, you know, from the hood. Let's see, I'm saying hood. Yeah, come on. So he had to get away from that attitude because it was more of a PG-13 and higher. But that's when he was the most over. I mean, for me, his biggest feud as that character that I enjoyed was the Big Show versus Cena WrestleMania 20. Great one. Great way to open the show. Great way to get the crowd pumped. Very good character. They had to lose that, though. So now it's just him. And this is kind of like going back to when Hogan was around. Yeah, I mean, during WWE in their the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, he had guys to go against, but he didn't have the man to go against. You know, I mean, Taker was just getting in there. I mean, Andre the Giant was a good feud. But, I mean, he had, a couple guys. Macho Man was pretty big, I guess. But, I mean, during the Attitude Era, you had big guys. Two. You had Rock, Stone Cold. Those are two huge names. And you could put those in a feud with anyone and make it big. That, along with Undertaker, that came with Kane. So you got Undertaker and Kane. You had Stone Cold and The Rock. Those are four feuds. Or two feuds. Yeah. Two feuds that were big. You could throw in at any card and people would enjoy. Then you add Mankind in there, who could go against all of those guys, which he did. Adds even more to the card. Then you add guys later on like Angle, Triple H, Shawn Michaels when he was around before, and then when he came back later. This just adds so many big names to a card. Like if you look at the card now, for example, for tonight, you have CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. Half a guy, quarter of a guy, kind of Then you have the WWE Championship one, which is Money in the Bank, which is Cena, big name, Big Show, past his prime, old, worn out character, even though it's only been around. Kane's Kane, always Kane, same, and then Jericho, who is off and on. He's kind of hot right now, but he's just coming back from his Brazil suspension, so it's kind of eh. Then you have Del Rio, who's garbage and no one likes, and Sheamus, who's they're trying to make a guy, but he's still not the guy even on SmackDown. And then the Money in the Bank for SmackDown is what you want. You want a bunch of younger guys, Christian, but you want a lot of guys that are getting pushed because that's how they've made Punk, Edge. That's how they put over RVD. That's how they're supposed to put over Kennedy. This is how they build new guys. The Miz, which because he was garbage anyways. So you have guys that should be pushed and they're not being pushed, and then they push the wrong guy, like Del Rio. He should not be pushed. So Cena is stuck being the same guy against the same people. Then you lose Edge, which is horrible because Edge was the best heel. I don't care what anyone says. Edge was the best heel in wrestling. And then you lose Orton because he's a drug addict and he can't keep on can't stay in the ring long enough to do anything because he, either gets hurt because he's a pussy or he gets, caught on drugs because he's a retard. So either way, you can't win with Orton. So it's always Cena. Cena's always there, and he's like he said against this guy over here. I'm here every week, which is true. So he gets shoved down our throats every week, but that's not his fault because no one is either getting pushed or no one is stepping up except for Punk. So that's why I'm a Punk guy. But no one is stepping up. They try and they fail, or they just can't get themselves over. They gotta follow in the shoes of Punk, of Bryan, but they need bigger guys, like Batista used to be here, like Triple H used to be, people that they can put in feuds, and people with size. Ryback, I think, is gonna be, even though Wrestling Jesus is like, retard. Yeah, he calls him fat. I mean, obviously, Wrestling Jesus hasn't looked in the mirror because he just looks like a cancer patient. But Ryback's jacked, huge. Next Goldberg, which they're still chanting his name. But anyways, he's the next Goldberg. But that's a good thing. You want someone strong. You want someone who's got momentum to go against Cena to make a good feud, to change it up a little bit. They're going to push Dolph soon. They just have to add more people. Stop trying to bring people back, trying to make people bigger. Then we don't have to get Cena shoved down our throats. Also, Linda McMahon can finally lose the Senate again. And then we don't have to deal with that anymore. We'll go back to PG-13. Maybe. Just maybe. So Cena, guys, Cena haters, it's not his fault. Someday soon we'll actually get the next Stone Cold and Rock. Someday. Or if not, then we're just going to have no wrestling anymore, which would obviously suck for all of us now, wouldn't it?